It is that time of the show when we say hello to today's guest. And I'm telling you, this is a cool show. We are joined by Mariann Johnson, who is the Deputy Director of the San Bernardino County Workforce Development Department. And we're going to learn a little bit about what the Workforce Development Department does, but more importantly, we're going to hear about a new program that will help young people get on a clear career path for their lives. How many times have we talked to high school kids or even college kids? So what do you want to do? And they don't have a clue. That's about to be fixed. Mariann, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So Mariann, I wanted to start. I think most people have heard of workforce development departments, and I believe virtually every county has one. But I'm not sure most people could explain what that department is or does. What do you guys do?
So we help match jobs to employers. So people that are looking for jobs with employers that are looking for people. And we do that by sending folks to training, partnering with the school system, which we're going to talk about, and really make sure that we are growing the workforce in our region to be responsive for businesses.
So one of the things here, and that was the most succinct description I have ever heard, by the way. And if you keep giving such succinct descriptions, we're going to run out of things to talk about.
It's just a match. It's really, I call it match.com of the job world. That's what we're trying to do.
Let's not tie. I've had some really bad experiences there. No, I'm only teasing. Well, and part of that I know is your America's Job Centers.
Yes.
And there's what, 2 or 3 of them in the county?
There's 3 of them in the county. So one is in Rancho Cucamonga, one in San Bernardino, and one in Victorville. And so we have staff there that are trained specially to help people with resumes. We do workshops for folks that are looking for jobs. And we have a lot of job leads. We have a whole business services team that goes out and talks to employers. And they'll come back and say, hey, I have an employer looking for such and such job. We look at our caseload and try and make that match. And
you know, they do such great work. One of the high points, I think, for America's Job Centers is when the economy was tanking and whole job sectors were disappearing because of the economy. You know, anyone that was, say, in mortgage banking, there were no jobs because there were no mortgage bankers left. And part of what your centers did was help people discover their strengths and transition into whole new industries.
Yes. And so we've done that quite a bit. And so we have 5 big target sectors here in our region, and that's manufacturing. We work with logistics, obviously. Construction is a big one right now. That's one that a lot of people left when the economy tanked, and now they're having a hard time getting folks to come back. So we're working to try and entice people back. Right.
They went to zero.
Exactly. Healthcare is another big one that we have, and then professional services, which is a lot of office jobs. So we do a lot of training in all of those areas. We try and teach folks about the labor market so that if they're looking for a new career, they don't pick a job that's going to be a dead-end job, but we want them to have something that's going to help get them to a future.
And you guys do it all. I mean, there's training, the helping with resumes, everything. So if you know anyone that's unemployed or underemployed, check out the America Job Centers. There's 3 of them in the county, and they will put you to work.
Absolutely.
So the Workforce Development Department, you guys also work, and you'd mentioned this, with academia to make sure, the worst thing that can happen is that the schools are pumping out kids trained in things that there are no jobs for.
Exactly.
And I know that over the years you've worked closely with academia to make sure that there's, and you've paired them with the jobs in the county to make sure that there's a match between the 2.
Yes. So we've done that on the adult side. So we work a lot with community colleges and other training providers. And then we've also done it now on the youth side. We're going to be talking about our partnership with the K-12 system. But we really will bring in employers and let them tell us this is what it is that we're looking for. And then we go to the schools and say this is what they're looking for. A great example for adults is community health workers. That's an exploding industry right now. We just had some calls with some employers right now looking to hire 30 within the next couple of months.
Wow.
And it pays really well. And we had talked to industry a couple years ago and they told us this is coming. This is the wave of the future. People don't want to come into a hospital to see someone. They want to have someone that knows the community that they can go to, that knows the resources. And so we've partnered in order to help make sure that we're sending people to training so that they can come out ready for those jobs.
And that's what's so important. You know, and I know for a while, I'm sure it's still going on today, but here in the Inland Empire, we were experiencing a huge brain drain. These kids would graduate, there'd really be very little that they could move into here, so they were moving out of the area. And we need to keep those young, fertile minds working in our marketplace.
Exactly. Right now, one of the things is that the unemployment rate is under 4%, which basically is full employment. So there's no need for them to go outside. They're going to find jobs here. One of the things we're really lucky in this area to have is lots of higher education. There are so many different options that people can go to, whether they want a 4-year degree, whether they want a community college. We have excellent trade schools. So there are options for no matter what pathway that people want to go to. If they want to get a certificate all the way up to a doctorate, we've got medical schools now. So there's every single opportunity that you could look for.
And there's also a lot of non-traditional opportunities as well. You know, college isn't the right path for everybody.
Correct.
And I know there's makers schools in the area that are training people for manufacturing jobs, which manufacturing is not what it used to be for our grandparents. It is not dusty and dirty, and it is computer driven. And you know, these people, some of these manufacturers, you know, working on the floor, making near 6-figure incomes.
Absolutely. A lot of it's being done with robotics, so you're really getting to program robots, and so kids are getting really interested in the field because you're getting to work with your hands, which they all like because of video games. It's running some of the equipment looks like, my son plays Minecraft all the time, it looks like a Minecraft game, so they're appealing to the right age at the right time.
And there's been a push for STEM to the younger kids as
absolutely.
well. So the science, technology, what's the
engineering,
engineering and math. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And those are important fields, and some of those, you know, some of those need college, but not all of them.
Right. You can actually get a good job in manufacturing coming right out of school with a few certifications. And with the Career Pathway program, the high schools are starting to create those certifications for kids. So when they come out, it's not like the old wood shop when we were kids, you know, where there was the, you know.
Where you made a salad bowl.
Exactly. It's definitely not that. These are kids are getting real skills as they come out. They're having, you know, able to run CNC machines and all kinds of things. We recently did a tour with some of the elementary schools, and they start as early as elementary school.
We just had National Manufacturing Day.
Yes, on Friday. And those kids, they already know how to use a lot of this equipment that some folks pay thousands of dollars to do training for, and they're getting it for free in their elementary school, middle school, and high school.
Well, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk in depth about this very program, Generation Go.
Sounds good.
Imagine a future where kids start exploring a variety of job options or career paths early, so by the time they're ready to go to college, they actually have an idea of what they may want to do. So we're going to talk about that when we come back.
All right.
So don't go away. We will return after this brief break. We are back and coming to you from one of my favorite places in the world, Charlie's Stars and Stripes in historic downtown Upland. You got to come check this place out. There is something going on all the time. Dinner specials, events during the week, and my favorite, live music every Friday and Saturday night. In fact, many nights you'll find me sitting at the bar having dinner and a drink. And if you do, come by and say hello. We are joined by Mariann Johnson, who is the Deputy Director of the San Bernardino County Workforce Development Department. And Mariann, in the last segment, we talked kind of in general what the Workforce Development Department does. And it's primarily been focused, as I assume most are, on adults. You guys are starting the coolest new program that is called GenerationGo.
Yes.
That sounds like the title of a Dr. Seuss book, you know, Go Dog Go, or
Exactly.
Go Generation Go. What is Generation Go? What is that all about?
Generation Go is our youth program. We actually did a naming contest with the youth, and that's how we came up with it. So we asked them, we want to create a program for the youth, help us come up with a name that people will get attached to and understand what it is. And so the kids came up with Generation Go, and we thought, you can't be better than that.
No.
So you have to do Generation Go with an exclamation point, So if you come to staff meetings, our staff all raise their arm. We're trying to get all the kids to do it. They haven't bought into that yet.
GenerationGo!
Exactly. You have to have that exclamation point.
Just make sure someone isn't leaning over you, when you do that. It can be bad.
Exactly. So there's two parts to it. We want to work with out-of-school youth, which are kids who've already graduated or maybe dropped out of high school. And so we work with kids from the ages of 16 through 24. And then this piece that we want to talk about is really for the career pathway kids, which are the ones in high school still that we're focused on.
Yeah, I want to talk about that because, I always tried to encourage my kids to get a sense of what they wanted to do. But even then, how do you know what you want to do if you don't know what all there is out there to do?
Exactly.
So it sounds like this starts introducing kids to various careers as early as elementary school?
Yes. So there's a thing called work-based learning where they're trying to actually show kids as early as elementary school real careers. So kids are doing things like 3D printing in elementary school. They're doing Corel drawing, which is some kind of software I don't know how to do.
It's graphic design software.
Exactly. And so they're actually learning how to do that. One of the elementary schools in San Bernardino City Unified, which is one of our first partners in this project, the kids started a business with all of the things that they were making in their lab. So some of the kids thought, I'm not a hands-on maker, but I'm a business person, and now they're running a website where you can actually purchase the
with
different
e-commerce.
things. Exactly. So one of the nice things they're doing is the elementary school is really for the kids to get to try all different types of pathways. They kind of rotate them through, so they're exposed to lots of different jobs.
Like what? What are some of the things?
So in that one, they have an iSteam lab. So they do different things like programming different equipment. They have a bear that welcomes you, and so they learned how to program the different bear, and he talks animatronics, exactly, which the kids love. They're doing 3D printing there, so they're doing design and getting to do that. They also started, because for part of their ads, they started a video piece of it, so they're actually putting out a news story or news channel that they're doing. And then this
is elementary school.
Elementary school. Now they started, because healthcare is another huge industry in our region, they started an eye care lab, and they're introducing them to all of the different medical careers. And so they're showing them how to do CPR first aid in elementary school. They're having different guest speakers come in. They set up a hospital bed so that there's actual real equipment in there, and teaching them about all of the different healthcare jobs that are going to be available.
One of the things that I really like about this is I'm assuming, especially at the elementary school level, that it's learning through play. Exactly. That you're making it fun. And I don't know about you, but I remember when I was being raised, a lot of our dads did jobs they didn't particularly like, but they had to work, they had to pay the bills.
Right.
If these kids can find jobs that they are passionate about, then in a sense they will never work a day in their lives.
Correct. The other thing that they found, at least at that elementary school that we toured, in talking to the principal, the truancy rate is way down, the suspension rate is way down. Kids are liking coming to school because it's engaging for them. They're not just sitting listening to a teacher talk to them, they're getting to do hands-on activities and applying the learning that they're getting in class. So they're still learning math, but you're learning math in a totally different way.
A way that, how many times did we say it? How often am I going to use algebra?
Right, and you use it all the time. You just don't realize you use it. So they're getting to use it practically.
All right, so now let's jump to high school and college, and tell me about the intern program.
So what we're doing is the Workforce Board, as part of the Workforce Roadmap, committed to working with the K-12 system. We're trying to build the pipeline of the workforce. The pipeline here is going to be the kids in the K-12 system. So the Workforce Board in May 2016 committed to all of the students getting to have an internship if they complete this program. So what we're doing is all of the kids in career pathways are going to be offered through the community college a work readiness certificate. That's where they learn things like the soft skills employers say that these kids don't have. They're learning how to dress, how to come do an interview, they're learning about how to work as a team, how to be on time, how not to use your cell phone, as well as goal setting and different things to help them figure out what do they want to do. They do a career assessment as part of the class. They don't get credit for that, but that kind of shows their willingness. It's generally going to be offered before or after school or through a summer school program. Once they complete that, they're going to get an internship and they're going to be enrolled in a college credit work experience class. So they're actually going to get college credit at the same time they're getting to do an internship.
Wow.
So
now, do
that
they
helps.
get to pick their field of interest?
Yes, so they're already in a pathway of some sort. And so, for example, we just had about 300 kids between San Bernardino and Colton school districts who completed the summer school program. They're in a wide variety of pathways. We have kids, lots in digital media, because they're all going to be YouTube stars. And then we also have a lot in healthcare. There's quite a few manufacturing, auto mechanics, and they've picked the pathways and been taking these classes all along.
So let me ask a question. Someone's sitting at home and they own a business or run a business, and they're going, that's fascinating. How do I get some of these interns?
So call our business services team. We absolutely, as we scale this up countywide, which is the plan over the next few years, there's going to be 32,000 high school seniors that we're going to be looking for internships for. So we need businesses to want to take the interns. The county, as the largest employer, kind of kicked in first and funded through general funds some internships. So we're going to have about 135 kids placed in the county through different departments. That's going to be starting in February, and then we're getting ready to scale huge over the next few years.
Now, can they get information on this somewhere online? Or?
Yes, on our website, which is sbcounty.gov/workforce. Career Pathways is one of the first buttons that you can click. We've got a couple videos up there so that you can learn about it, as well as a way to contact us.
Wow. So if you're a business owner or you run a business, check this out. This is an opportunity to get some motivated millennials motivated because they have to go through this whole process.
Exactly.
And they're not going to make it through the certification if they're not motivated.
Exactly.
And get them working with you as interns. And we all know a lot of these interns do a good job and they end up keeping the
And
job.
several have gotten hired already.
Well, Mariann, thank you so much for coming and sharing this with us. And I'm going to ask you, I would love to get together every so often so you can update us on how this program is growing. Because I really think this is something that is going to be trend-setting nationally.
Yep.
What a great way to help kids figure out what they want to do in life so that they don't have to work at a job they don't like.
Exactly.
They want to work at a job. And it's fun.
And build our economy in the meantime.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't go away. We have more to come. We'll be right back. I am so excited to say hello to David Moore, who is the proprietor of Charlie's Stars and Stripes right here in historic downtown Upland, and the place that we are so graced to be able to shoot the show once a month. David, first, thank you for allowing us to shoot here. We love the venue. And we were just chatting before we went on air. It's been 4 years that you've been running this place.
Yes, a long time. It's been a lot of fun.
Wow, and you've really grown it. This was one of those locations that for years really never lasted. And you guys have come in and you've created an environment that is just comfortable. You're a restaurant and a bar and a sports bar, and clearly the concept is working.
Yes, a combination of all of them. And we're very happy to have lots of different things here, including bands on Friday and Saturday night. We have trivia on Tuesday night. We have Dodgers. Every single Dodger game is live here.
Wow.
Because that's important.
Yeah, okay, should we share why it's important?
Okay.
Okay, so how many years, David, have you had season tickets to the Dodgers?
Okay, 40. Sorry.
Wow.
It makes me look older than I am.
Well, you got them when you were 2. If anyone can beat that, let us know. 40 years season tickets with the Dodgers. So every game, and you have all the football games going.
Yes, we have all the football games. We have the NFL package. We have about 12 TVs up front, and there's always sports on.
And what I love is every night. So Monday night is Monday Night Football.
Correct.
What's going on? Tuesday night is trivia.
Tuesday night's trivia.
Wednesday is football.
No, Wednesday night is steak night.
Oh, that's right. How could I forget? They serve the best steak dinner, and I'm not even going to tell you the price, but it's really inexpensive. And then Thursday?
Thursday is football, and then we have social night, or where comedian nights come in after football's done.
On Thursday nights.
On Thursday night, it's free of charge. We have some good comedians that come in. And so that happens on Thursday night. And then Friday night, we move on to bands. Well, there's a Friday night at 8:30, there's a band. Saturday night at 8:30, there's a band. And then Sunday, we're right back into football.
And this is fairly new. I hope you're still doing it, but you have breakfast.
Yes, we are open for breakfast Saturday and Sunday morning at 8:30. And not only that, we have bottomless mimosas or regular mimosas or special Bloody Marys. There's always a special here.
Yeah, that's what I come. I'm not a Bloody Mary guy. I've tried. I can't be. But I always come for the bottomless mimosas, and it frankly doesn't matter what I'm eating at that point.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to talk about this room that we shoot in. We're here once a month. In fact, if anyone ever wants to come by, we're typically here the second Tuesday of every month. But this is your banquet room, and you have done so much with it. And over the years, I've watched such a broad variety of events be held here.
Yes, and we can hold about 75, 80 people. We have food, we have drinks. We've done anything from a birthday party to a memorial service. To last week, we had a record swap here where they brought in their records and swapped, and they were playing music back here. So it's available, and it's a good place to just get together at.
And how many TVs are in here? 1, 2, 3, like 5 or 6. Every wall has at least 1 or 2 TVs on it.
5 or 6 TVs, yes.
So this would even be a fun place to get the gang together to watch football and reserve the room. And my favorite part about this room, and I hope this is still accurate, that if you get the food from you guys, which why wouldn't you, what's the cost for the room itself?
The cost is $300 of money spent. So whether it's food or alcohol or combined together, if you spend $300, the room is free. And yes, that is still the way it is. And last year we had a group in here that just came in to watch the Super Bowl and rented the room for that.
Yeah, I mean, so, because you're gonna have food, you're gonna have drink, you're gonna invite a lot of friends. So this is a great place to do it. It's a great venue. I love the room. You can close the door. It's private. You recently added its own outside patio that's separate from the main restaurant patio.
That's correct. There's a patio outside just for this, and depending on the group, if they want, we have a private bartender back here for them, or they can walk up front and get drinks, just depending on how much drinking they're doing or how much they want to do.
And how much food they want.
Yep.
So if someone wants more information about any of your nightly specials, events, or reserving this room, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, naturally, we have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page, but the easiest way is to call the phone number here. It's area code 909-981-2411. In case I said it too fast, 981-2411. And any of the managers, any of the bartenders will know exactly what's happening.
All right. Well, David, thank you again for allowing us to be here. And I urge all of you, if you haven't, come on by and check out Charlie's Stars and Stripes in the heart of historic downtown Upland. David, thank you.
Thank you.
It is that time of the show when we are joined once again by our favorite health guru, Dr. Peavy of Arcadia Chiropractic Center. And Dr. Peavy, since your last visit, I've been thinking about this. You had talked about how lack of sleep is impacting us in a significant way. And I'm guilty of that myself, and I get it. You know, if I don't get enough sleep, I may be cranky the next day, or my brain isn't as quickly functioning as it could or should be. But beyond that, can lack of sleep really cause health issues?
Absolutely. What we talked about in our last segment together was we talked about this thing called inflammation. Problem with lack of sleep is that it raises a hormone called cortisol that is very, very critical towards managing inflammation properly. If it's too high, inflammation goes up. And think of inflammation as like a really big bad guy in the body. And consequently, that inflammation attacks parts of our body. So one of the areas that it can attack is the pancreas, which is what's critical for controlling blood sugar level. And there you get diabetes when that's not working properly.
So lack of sleep could actually be a contributor to diabetes.
Absolutely, and a lot of people don't really realize just how important sleep really is from a health standpoint. They just know that I didn't get enough sleep, so I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'll catch up next time.
And I do know this, there's no such thing as catching up,
No,
right?
no, you're always playing a game of never moving forward in the right direction. You're always playing catch up, but never really quite getting there.
Now, from what I understand, different people need different amounts of sleep. You know, I know some people, you know, like we hear about our president. What did they say? He gets 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night and he functions fine. How much sleep do we really need, and how do we know how much sleep we personally need?
Well, the standard is generally 7 to 7.5 hours of sleep per night. Of that being about 5 hours being in deep REM sleep. So we hear about rapid eye movement,
Right.
deep REM sleep. That's really when the body gets into its most restful state so that it can do what it does best, which is repair. And that's what sleep really is. It's our body's factories starting the repair process of what we did to ourselves during the course of the day.
Now, what about too much sleep? Is there such a thing?
Well, I think that's something of a, I don't know, I would say it's not so much that you can have too much sleep. I think your body will naturally tell you what you need. People that need to nap during the day, maybe they need to take a cat nap late morning or early afternoon, and they do it. They tend to always say that they're extremely refreshed and they have more energy and they're ready to be more productive. So I think if you need the sleep, you should take that sleep.
And I'll tell you, you can ask my staff. They know, everyone in my life knows, I'm a 10-minute person. You know, if midday I'm worn out, I'll shut the door, I'll take literally, and I wake up on my own, exactly 10 minutes, and I am just supercharged and ready to go.
Right, there's no question. I do something similar to that as well. During the lunchtime, I'll get back from running errands and I'll just close my eyes, just kind of lean back in my chair, and yeah, I'll actually doze off for 10, 15 minutes, and I wake up and it's like, wow, just like I've just been battery recharged. It's really good.
And do people question you on that? Do people go, I don't know how you do that. I couldn't take a 10-minute nap. I would sleep for an hour and a half and I'd wake up cranky.
Well, I just say you better set the alarm clock then.
That's great. So, Dr. Peavy, if someone is having sleep-related issues, is that something they should contact you about?
Well, I think it would be a starting point potentially, but we all have to realize that there are problems that could be more medically related with sleep difficulties, and certainly I can help them lead into the direction that they need to go. Sometimes they need to do sleep studies. They might have a problem called sleep apnea, which is a difficulty breathing at night. You tend to stop breathing, and that can affect sleep as well. So these are very dangerous medical conditions that they would need to see a medical doctor or clinic for.
And sometimes it can be dietary, like when I was drinking 6 to 8 cups of coffee a day and then couldn't figure out why I had trouble sleeping.
Well, I think there's a little bit of a linkage with caffeine there, right?
Well, Dr. Peavy, if someone wants more information, how do they get a hold of you?
Great way is to use our website at arcadiachiropracticcenter.com. It has all kinds of information that will be useful for them to learn more about us. Or they can simply call us at 626-447-4442, and I'll be happy to reach out and talk to them at any time.
And they are so friendly, so don't hesitate to give them a call. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
We will be right back. What a great show. I so enjoyed chatting with all of our guests, and I especially want to thank you for tuning in and joining us. And please, be sure to set your DVRs so you never miss another episode of Voice of the Inland Empire. And if you want to be able to watch 24/7, I don't know why you'd want to watch in the middle of the night, but if you do, check out our website at voiceoftheinlandempire.com, where on the homepage you'll find current shows, and on the archive page you'll find years of past shows that you can enjoy. And while you're at our website, drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. What you like about the show, what you don't like about the show. Maybe you have some ideas for show guests. Our guests need to have topics of broad general interest and be non-commercial in nature. If you don't have access to the internet or just prefer the old-fashioned way of contact, you can give us a call on our telephone hotline at 909-746-8846. That's 909-746-8846. So until next time, this is Ron Stark reminding you to be productive, care for your world and the people around you, work hard, find time for fun, and always remember to give back whatever and whenever you can. Until next time, goodbye for now.